welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on the Equinox again. As you can see here, I've got it pulled in my garage because we are having just an absolutely lovely day in Michigan. Several inches of snow laying on the ground out there. So I figured, hey, this is a perfect opportunity to get out here in the freezing cold and change the oil, because why not? I have nothing else to do today. Why not come out here and freeze in the garage? So anyway, going to change the oil. This car used to burn an ungodly amount of oil. So that's kind of what this video is about. This is more or less like a 2-year update. Not quite 2 years. We're just a few months shy of 2 years. So basically about 2 years ago, I did a 5-part video. Maybe it was a 6-part video. Tearing down this engine, honing the cylinders, and putting new piston rings in it. Pretty simple job. The engine stays in the car. It's fairly easy to do if you have basic DIY knowledge and DIY tools. Pretty much, I feel like anybody could probably do this project if again, if you know at least a little bit about engines and cars and whatever. It's not a hard project. Howdy, neighbor. Fairly easy to do, but you know, if your car is like this one, this is a 2011, and it's the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. So pretty much all of these burned crazy amounts of oil. This one was burning about a quart of oil every 200 miles, and that was at 165,000 miles. It was really, really bad, almost to the point where it's undrivable. As I said in one of my videos, I used to call this the 2-stroke Chevy, because when I would fill up the gas tank, I would also have to fill up the oil pan. And that was really no joke. You know, I mean, actually, I was probably putting oil in it more frequently than I was putting gas in it. So yeah, if you have one of these that is doing a similar thing, you can check out my video series. But today, more or less, just like a two-year report on how well it's holding up. Pretty much beyond my wildest expectation. Honing those cylinders, putting the rings in. This car burns virtually no oil, which is crazy considering how many miles are on it. I think I'm at 187 now. We'll take a look at the odometer here in a minute. But so we're, let's just call that 25,000 miles and 2 years later. And the engine runs fantastic, burns almost no oil. I would say the first month or so, it would burn maybe a half a quart, I think, until the rings really seated properly. And then after that, it didn't burn anything for about a year. And then probably the last year, the last few oil changes I did were probably at like 3,000 to 4,000 mile intervals. And I want to say I probably added, one of the times was maybe like a quarter of a quart. And then this last time, which was about a week ago, I checked it, and it was down about a quarter of a quart. No, I'm sorry, about a half of a quart. And part of that could be because it's so cold outside, and I really don't let this thing warm up properly. But after 4,000 miles approximately, that it's only down a half a quart, that is like beyond doable, right? Like that is such a huge improvement. And that whole first year, it didn't use any oil at all, you know? So it's just, as the engine's wearing out, I'm sure it's going to get to the point where it's just going to continue getting worse again. But if it holds up even another 25,000 miles, I think I'll get my money's worth out of this car, because it probably didn't cost more than $800 for everything I did to the engine. And that included redoing the cylinder head, new valves and springs and all that stuff, which you don't have to do. I did that because, well, if you watch the video, you'll see. It was the whole reason I pulled the engine apart, actually, was because I had a burnt exhaust valve. So I just figured I may as well rebuild the cylinder head while I'm at it. But the oil rings on the cylinders, on the pistons, that's the primary issue. That's why these burn so much oil. So yeah, for the most part, 2 years in, it's working great. The Hastings rings that I used, if you want to do this project, I would highly recommend getting those rings. You can look in my, I've got a link for all the parts I used. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be happier with how it's held up. So let's take a look at the odometer, see where we're at. I think we're at 25,000 miles. Let's see. Yeah, we know it's cold out. Come on. Oh, so many things to go through in the menu. There we go. 187,591. And I think it was 165 somewhere right around there whenever I tore the engine apart. So yeah, we're at 22. So let's just call that 23,000. 23,000 miles. Yeah, everything still runs great. It's really pretty crazy. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and change this oil now before I turn into a friggin' popsicle, because it is freezing out here. So if you decide you want to do this, check out my channel, 5-6 part video. If you've got some basic tools and you're kind of the DIY guy, girl, whatever, you could probably do this. It's not that difficult. So in the meantime, I don't know if I'm going to do a third, like a 3-year update. So let's just call this the end at the 2 years, because it's working great. Everything's wonderful, great, grand, super good place to call it. So we'll see how things progress. So for now, let's just call it the end for the Equinox saga. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment, do all those good things. And we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.